رسول کی ایک دم سند کے ٹکڑوں کو دے بار میں اڑاتے ہوئے بطول رو پڑی فضا کو یہ بتاتے ہوئے میں آج شہر مدینہ کو ہی مٹا دوں گی اگر علی کو نہ چھوڑا تو بدعا دوں گی کہا بطول نے سے ردا گھٹاتے ہوئے بطول رو پڑی فضا کو یہ بتاتے ہوئے جو مجھ پہ گزری ہے مجھ سے نہ ہو سکے گی بیان وہ دیکھو ابھی ہے دیوار پر لہو کے نشان میں دیکھتی ہوں انہیں روز آتے جاتے ہوئے بطول رو پڑی فضا کو یہ بتاتے ہوئے بتایا سب کو جو مفہوم ہے ولایت کا لبوں پہ شکوانہ بنتے رسول کی آیا علی علی ہی کیا تازیان کھاتے ہوئے بطول رو پڑی فضا کو یہ بتاتے ہوئے ابو الحسن کو تھا پٹکے سے میں نے تھاما ہوا مگر لعین نے درے سے یوں مجھے مارا زمین پہ گر گئی فضا میں لڑکھڑاتے ہوئے بطول رو پڑی فضا کو یہ بتاتے ہوئے میرا فریضہ نبھائے گی لاڈلی میری گھیرے گا شولوں میں جس وقت ایک اور علی چلے گی آگ پہ زینب اسے بچاتے ہوئے بطول رو پڑی فضا کو یہ بتاتے ہوئے پدر کی قبر پہ اکبر وہ رو کے کہتی تھی حفاظت آپ نے مجھ کو علی کی سونپی تھی तमाचे मैंने है खाए उन्हें बचाते हुए बतूल रो पड़ी फिजा को ये बताते हुए। पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवात।
بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات اللہم صلی اللہ برائے خوشنودی جناب فاطمہ زہرا صلوات اللہ علیہ بآواز بلند بار دیگر صلوات صلی علی محمد وآل محمد۔ علاج گردش ایام ہوتا جاتا ہے علاج گردش ایام ہوتا جاتا ہے عجیب لطف انعام ہوتا جاتا ہے کسی کا دست مبارک ہے میرے شان پر کسی کا دست مبارک ہے میرے شان پر میں نام لیتا ہوں اور کام ہوتا جاتا ہے کسی کا دست مبارک ہے میرے شان پر میں نام لیتا ہوں اور کام ہوتا جاتا ہے علاج گردش نعرہ صلوات سلام کی چند اشعار حدیث سماعت ملاحظہ کیجیے گا. ایک دفعہ مل جل کے بآواز بلند نعرہ صلوات. بنت احمد مادر شبیر و شب فاطمہ بنت احمد مادر شبیر و شب فاطمہ ضامن نسل نبی تفسیر کوثر فاطمہ ضامن نسل نبی تفسیر کوثر فاطمہ بنت احمد مادر شبیر و شب فاطمہ مصطفیٰ کے گوہر یکتا علی معدن خلق نبی کا خاص جوہر فاطمہ معدن خلق نبی کا خاص جوہر فاطمہ بنت احمد مادر شبیر و شب طاہرہ تیرا لقب ہے سیدہ تیرا خطاب چادر تطہیر ہے تیری ہی چادر چادر تطہیر ہے تیری ہی چادر فاطمہ بنت احمد مادر شبیر و شب شبرو شبیر سردار جوانان جنا ساقی کوثر علی خاتون محشر فاطمہ ساقی کوثر علی خاتون محشر فاطمہ بنت احمد مادر شبیر و شب فاطمہ آیا تطہیر لائے دیکھ کر یہ جبرائیل زیر چادر ہے نبی حسنین و حیدر فاتح زیر چادر ہے نبی حسنین و حیدر فاتح دیکھنے میں پانچ ہے کملی میں لیکن ایک ہے احمد مرسل علی شبیر و شب فاطمہ احمد مرسل علی شبیر و شب فاتح جو مصائب تجھ پہ گزرے بعد ختم انبیاء رات ہو جاتے گزرتے گردنوں پر فاتح رات ہو جاتے گزرتے گردنوں پر فاتح باپ پر رونے کو یہ دونوں ترستے مر گئے ایک سکینہ اور بنت پیغمبر فاطمہ ایک سکینہ اور ایک بنت پیغمبر فاطمہ بنت احمد مادر سورہ فاتحہ الحمدللہ جب فاطمہ نے خلد بری کا کیا جب فاطمہ نے خلد بری کا سفر کیا ویراں جناب شیر الہی کا گھر کیا دامن قبا کا اشکوں سے حیدر نے تر کیا قربان علی کی بیٹیوں نے اپنا سر کی چلائیں سر کو پیٹ کے اماں کدھر گئیں ہم پیٹنے کو رہ گئے اور آپ مر گئے ہم پیٹنے کو رہ گئے اور آپ مر گئے ارے اماں خدا کے واسطے ہم کو بھی لو بولا چھاتی پہ اپنے پیار سے ہم کو بھی لو سلا ہے ابھی سے آپ نے ہم کو دیا بھولا آنکھیں بھی ہیں پھری ہوئی من کا بھی ہے ڈھلا اس داغ سے دلوں کو نہ کیوں بے قراری ہو کچھ منہ سے بولیے کہ تشفی ہماری کچھ منہ سے بولیے کہ تشفی ہماری ہو چلائیں سر کو پیٹ کے زینب جگر فگار ارے اماں تمہاری روح کے میں کیوں نہ ہوں نثار بن ماں کے اب پڑے گا ہمیں کس طرح قرار اب کون ہے ہمارا بجز شاہ زلف رنج و علم میں غم کی گھٹا دل پہ چھائی ہے ہم لٹ گئے رسول خدا کی دہائی ہم لٹ گئے رسول خدا کی دہائی ہے جھک کر حسین نے رخ مادر پہ کی نگاہ دیکھا جو روح فاطمہ نے لی عدم کی راہ زلفوں کو نوچ کر یہ پکارا وہ رش کے ماں ارے اماں ہماری مر گئے ہم ہو گئے تب ارے اماں ہماری مر گئے ہم ہو گئے تب ہم دکھ زدہ یتیمی کے ہاتھوں سے لٹ گئے ارے سر پیٹو بھائی فاطمہ سے آج چھٹ گئے ہم دکھ زدہ یتیمی کے ہاتھوں سے لٹ گئے سر پیٹو بھائی فاطمہ سے آج چھٹ گئے سر پیٹو بھائی فاطمہ سے آج چھٹ گئے جب فاطمہ نے خلد
محمد اس سے بہتر انداز میں بآواز بلند نعرہ صلوات کہہ کے بسم اللہ اللہ کی یما تک آ گئے کہہ کے بسم اللہ اللہ کی یما تک آ گئے خیر سے دربار خاتون جنا تک آ گئے خیر سے دربار خاتون جنا تک آ گئے مدحت خاتون جنت کی کرامت دیکھیے مدحت خاتون جنت کی کرامت دیکھیے ہم زمین والے ولا کے آسماں تک آ گئے یار ہم زمین والے ولا کے آسماں تک آ گئے دار پر پڑھتے رہے میں سمودت کی نماز دار پر پڑھتے رہے میں سمودت کی نماز خم بوزر عشق حیدر کی اذاں تک آ گئے یا خم بوزر عشق حیدر کی اذاں تک آ گئے جھولیاں پھیلائے بیٹھے ہیں در حسنین پر جھولیاں پھیلائے بیٹھے ہیں در حسنین پر روٹیاں لینے فرشتے بھی کہاں تک آ گئے روٹیاں لینے فرشتے بھی کہاں تک آ گئے آئے تطہیر دینی تھی رسول اللہ کو آئے تطہیر دینی تھی رسول اللہ کو حضرت جبریل زہرا کے مکان تک آ گئے حضرت جبریل زہرا کے مکان تک آ گئے اپنے دل میں لے کے خیبر میں نہ ملنے کا علم اپنے دل میں لے کے خیبر میں نہ ملنے کا علم مفتی اسلام فتووں کی دکان تک آ گئے اپنے دل میں لے کے خیبر میں نہ ملنے کا علم مفتی اسلام فتووں کی دکان تک آ گئے بے شمار اپنا مکالا کیا باغ فدق کو لوٹ کر اپنا مکالا کیا باغ فدق کو لوٹ کر نام چوروں کے بخاری کی زبان تک آ گئے نام چوروں کے بخاری کی زبان تک آ گئے کر لیا آباد مظلومان بیت الحزن کو کر لیا آباد مظلومان بیت الحزن کو سیدہ کے زخم جب آہو فغاں تک آ گئے آگ لے کر آ گئے دروازے سادات پر آگ لے کر آ گئے دروازے سادات پر کچھ صحابہ اجر دینے تو یہاں تک آ گئے رحلت احمد سے محسن کی شہادت تک ظفر رحلت احمد سے محسن کی شہادت تک ظفر فاطمہ کے بین نوحوں کی ازاں تک آ گئے بر محمد آل محمد صلوات
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من اللعين الغوي الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين والحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الميامين المهديين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من يوم عداوتهم إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقال الله تعالى وهو عز وجل في كتابه الكريم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم آياته زادتهم إيمانا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. Continuing with last night's discussion, as I said, the plan in these series or Khamsat Majalis is the first 3 nights we're going to try to highlight some aspects of who is the person of Fatima Zahra. And there's a reason for this. Who is she? Because on night 4, we're going to open a door to look at how was she treated by the early Muslim community, by those people in power. How did they treat her? So what we're going to do is, I often do this in the classroom setting, is we're going to create a mirror. First, we're going to demonstrate to you about who is the person of Fatima Zahra. What do we know about her attributes? What do we know about her status? We cannot, of course, encapsulate it, but just a few things. And tomorrow night, we're going to continue with this, and then all of a sudden on night 4, we're now going to go and say, okay, how has history treated her? There's a point to this. How has history treated her? How has history treated her stand for justice? How have the great scholars of Ahlul Sunnah wa Jama'ah, great in their view, not necessarily great in our view, but famous, shall we say, treated her? How have they spoken about her? What are their real opinions about these issues? Like I said, people like Ibn Qutayba, Ibn Sa'ad, and others. What did the early Muslims think about her? And then we're going to show, on the other hand, what the Shia, or what the sources of the Shia madhab have to say about her musibah. So we're going to contrast, and we're going to see, and then mu'mineen can choose what they want to follow. I always do this. I don't force anyone to believe in anything. I will present the facts, the details, as I understand them, as I have interpreted them, as I bring them, and you decide what it is that you want to believe in. So we began today in continuing of what I call the majesty of Fatima Zahra in the reflection of La ilaha illallah, right? We spoke about this last night, about the intellect being illuminated by La ilaha illallah, right? And Sayyidah Zahra salamullahi alayha bringing this to the front in her khutbah, known as khutbah al-Fadakiyya, that there were 2 essential elements in this speech before she gets to Ma'rifatul Wilaya and Imama, which is Ma'rifatul Tawheed, Ma'rifatullah, and Ma'rifatul Nabi. She has to set the foundation of everything that is to come, as I mentioned yesterday. That if these 2 ingredients or components are not understood, then the mu'min cannot move to the 3rd component. That everything returns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what she was indicating to us in her khutbah were 2 things. Number 1, the soul and the heart that Allah has put within us is designed to be illuminated with the kalima of La ilaha illallah, with the shahada. And number 2, with Muhammad Rasulullah. That's why she uses 2 words. She says, God brought light to the universe through 2 means. One through kalima la ilaha illallah, and the other one is through Muhammadur Rasulullah. Right? She uses the word Anara bi Muhammad. Right? That God brought light to the universe. God brought light to our hearts. God brought us from dhulumat ila nur because of her father, not because of me. Look at the amazing thing. Mu'mineen, please grasp this point to understand who is Fatima Zahra. That the higher Ahlul Bayt go, is the higher they go in the fadail of Rasulullah. We are not away from the fadail of Rasulullah. We are the ones explaining the fadail of Rasulullah. We are the followers, as Shia Ahlul Sunnah. And from this angle, Shia are the people of Sunnatul Nabi. This is from the beginning to the end. Ahlul Bayt status in that they are shining for the world who is the true prophet. She didn't say the world was given light because of me. She says something else tomorrow, very profound. We will talk about this tomorrow. We have to go step by step. She said that the world was given light through my father. I am his daughter. I am the one that he loved. I am the one that he stood up for. I am the one that he would see when he would come back from a battle. Right? Hakim al-Naysapuri in Fadail Fatima Zahra, one of the famous muhaddithin of Ahlul Sunnah, he has an entire chapter in his book only devoted to when the Prophet would leave and when the Prophet would come home and the status of Fatima Zahra. That the whole Muslim community was in agreement that the last person he would see is Fatima and the first person he would see is Fatima when he comes home. This is ijma, this is agreement of the Muslim community, of muhaddithin bayna sunnah wa shia. What she is saying, if this is who I am, and this is the honor that my father has given me, and this is the honor that the book of Allah, that la ilaha illallah, has given me, that there is no God but Allah, then if you understand who is Allah, and you understand who is the Nabi, then you will understand who is Fatima Zahra. Look at the logic, the mantiq here. It is a case, it's like she's building a Supreme Court brief. Impenetrable. Such at the end, the person is left with no excuse. It is Burhan al-Qati', the absolute Burhan. And that's why I said, if we want to understand Fatima, we must know Ali. If we want to know Ali, we must know Fatima. We take this and look at Nahj al-Balagha, and we see that they were meant to be together from before the existence of time. This is Fatima Zahra, salamu alayha. And she says, فَجَعَلَ اللَّهُ الْإِيمَانَ تَطْهِيرًا لَكُم مِّنَ الشِّرْكِ. That Allah made Iman as a means of purifying you from polytheism. وَالصَّلَاةَ تَنْزِيحًا لَكُمْ عَنَ الْكِبْرِ. And Allah made Salat for you as a means of removing you from arrogance. It's a means of humility, of putting our head onto the ground. We'll get to this in a bit. وَالزَّكَاةَ تَزْكِيَةً لِلنَّفْسِ. And when we give in charity, it's a purification of our soul, of ourself. وَنَمَاءً فِي الرِّزْقِ وَالصِّيَامِ تَثْبِيتًا لِلْإِخْلَاصِ. And our fasting is a means of affirming our sincerity for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now I want us to pause here. Today we're going to go very deep into some things. Inshallah ta'ala, mu'mineen will stay with me here. About the relationship between Ali and Fatima. Salamullahi alayhim ajma'een. Between these two individuals, it is very deep. There are many, it is like an ocean. There's many levels. This is why scholars and urafa have spent their entire life only just in this subject. Let's go to a riwayah from Qutbuddin Rawandi in his da'awat. Very interesting situation, very interesting riwayah. Amir al-Mu'mineen Falsi Qutbuddin Rawandi is one of the great muhaddithin of the Shia of the early period. He has a book of du'as or adhkar. It's called Da'awat lil-Rawandi. He says, Asabat Amir al-Mu'mineen aliyan shiddatun. Amir al-Mu'mineen became sick. So what happens? Look at the relationship between husband and wife. There's two things, as I narrate the riwayah to you, the hadith to you, I want you to keep 2 or 3 things in mind. 1, the relationship between husband and wife. 2, the relationship with Allah. 3, the relationship with the Nabi. Keep these 3 points in mind. Ali gets sick, salamullahi alayhi. He gets sick. فَأَتَتْ فَاطِمَةَ لَيْلًا رَسُولِ اللَّهِ. Fatima goes immediately to Rasulullah. Look at this. She goes immediately to Rasulullah. فَدَقَّتْ الْبَابِ. Knocks on the door. قال رسول الله أسمع حس حبيبتي. He says, I can hear the sound of my beloved daughter. He says, Ya Ayman, get up and see. Ayman says, فتحت لها الباب. Ayman opens the door for Fatima Zahra, and she says that Fatima Zahra now enters the house of the Prophet, the manzil of the Nabi. And she says that she has, and the Prophet turns to her and says, Ya Fatima, you've come at a time that you never come before. It must have been very late at night. She says, you've come at a very unusual time. Now look at the question she asks her father. She says, Ya Rasulullah, ma ta'amul malaika? It's only for, what is the food of the angels? Ali is sick, right? She has now come in middle of the night at a very unusual hour to Baytul Nabi, the manzil of Rasul Khuda. He opens the door worried, right? He tells Ayman, this is an odd time, go. Fatima, my daughter has come. She says, Ya Rasulullah. It's funny, she doesn't say, oh my father. Ya Rasulullah. Ma ta'amul malaika. What is the food of the angels? Qala Rasulullah. Yani inda rabbiha. Right? What is their food with their Lord? What is their sustenance with their Lord? Faqala al-tahmid. It is the tahmid, the praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then she says, فَقَالَتْ مَا تَعَامُنَا يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. What is our food? Look at how she's asking for her needs, her hajat. Just think of the depth. Ali is hungry. He is sick. Her husband is in shiddah. She's coming and asking what first, beginning sweetly with her father, مَا تَعَامُ الْمَلَائِكَ عِنْدَ رَبِّهَا. Then she says, oh, our father, Rasulullah, what is our food? Like what is for us to eat? قال رسول الله الذي نفسي بيده ما اقتبس في آل محمد نار شهر النار. He says that Ali Muhammad has not had fire to cook with for a month, meaning we are starving. Right? That in Medina was hard times, as we know. That Ali Muhammad would always be at the level of the poor of the society. Ali is hungry, Rasulullah is hungry, Fatima is hungry. He says, I have 2 choices for you, my daughter. This is a very profound hadith, mu'mineen. He says, I have 2 choices for you. بِخَمْسِ أَعْنُس, أَعْنُس meaning goat. I have 5 goats for you, meaning eat all you want, Hassan and Hussein, so on and so forth. You eat all you want, 5 goats, that's a lot of meat. He says, I can give you, maybe that's all he had or whatever, maybe from charity, we don't know. But from 5 goats. Or I have 5 words, 5 statements. خمسة كلمات. أعلمك 5 كلمات علمنيهن جبرائيل. Or I can give you 5 statements that Jibreel has taught me. قالت يا رسول الله ما الخمس كلمات or الخمس كلمات. I will take the 5 words. Or what are those 5 words? قال يا رب الأولين والآخرين. Or Lord of the first and the last. يا خير الأولين والآخرين. Oh, the best of the first and the best of the last. يا ذو القوة المتين. Meaning the one who is all powerful. يا راحم المساكين. يا أرحم الراحمين. Oh, the one who has mercy on the poor. Oh, the one who is the most merciful of the merciful. Fatima's Salamullahi alayha, chose this over the food for her stomach and her husband. Ali was hungry. Ali was in shiddah. She was given the choice between 5 goats or 5 athkar of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She chose this. فَرَجَعَتْ إِلَىٰ Ali. She returned to her house, to her husband. فَلَمَّا أَبْصَرَهَا أَمِيرَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ Ali. Now think of the relationship between husband and wife here. He says, بِأَبِي وَأُمِّي مَا وَرَاءَكْ يَا فَاطِمَةَ. Look at the sweetness of how he speaks to his wife. May my mother and my father be sacrificed for you. What have you come with? What is behind you? Meaning, what have you come with, O Fatima? قالت ذهبت للدنيا وجئت بالآخرة. Allahu Akbar. Who but Sayyidah Zahra can say that? She says, I left for the world, but now I have come with the next world, possessing it in my hand. Do you understand, Mu'mineen? Maybe this is going over. Fatima Zahra is saying, I went for the dunya, now I have come with the akhirat in my hands for you. Fatima is bringing akhirat to Ali ibn Abi Talib. He says, khairu ayyamek. He is so happy, meaning bless you, bless you, bless you. He is starving and he's hungry. He's in shiddah. But she says, I've brought you akhirat. What better gift a wife can give to a husband than akhirat? Look at the relation, look at what wavelength are they on? Like what level? There's a reason why they were meant for each other from before the existence of Bani Adam. She brought Ali the next world. That is why there could be no kafa'a, no kafu, no one equitable or match compatible for Ali than Fatima, and Fatima for Ali. They completed each other in every perfect imaginable way. That is the meaning of the two souls coming together. But let's go deeper now. There's a statement, Ya Rahimul Masakin, that one of these things that Jibreel taught Rasulullah, that Rasulullah gave as a hadiyah and a gift to Fatima is Ya Rahim al-Masakin. This is one of the, we can remember, this is very beautiful dhikr to remember. Right? One of them is Ya Rahim al-Masakin. Oh, the one who has mercy upon the poor. Miskin, right? Masakin. But what does this have to do with Ali ibn Abi Talib? It is deep. Ammar ibn Yasir relates in a very beautiful tradition from the Prophet that one day the Prophet was with Ali ibn Abi Talib, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. And he says, Ya Ali. Yes, Prophet used to say Ya Ali many times, so we can say Ya Ali. When our children are born, we say Ya Ali. When they're alive and they're walking and going up the stairs, we say Ya Ali. When we leave this world, we say Ya Ali. The Prophet said Ya Ali. Why not? Ya Ali. Ya Ali, the Prophet says. Inna Allah kad zayyanaka bi zinatin. That, oh Ali, Allah has given you a zinat, has beautified you with a beauty, an ornament. لم يزين العباد بزينة أحب إلى الله منها. Allah has given you a zinat that He has not given to other human beings, something that is the most beloved to Him. Allahu Akbar. أحب إلي. أحب إلا الله منها. Wow, what is this, Ya Mu'mineen? A zinat. He says, I'm coming to tell you, Allah has given you a zinat that is so great that Allah has not given it to anyone else in such a way that nothing is as beloved as this to Allah. What has He given to Ali? He says, زَيَّنَكَ بِالْزُهْدِ فِي الدُّنْيَا. Allah has given you this ability to be in this world, but to not be of this world. This is zuhud. To be in this world, but not be of this world. To both, that's why he says, قُلُوبُنَا فِي الْجِنَانِ وَأَجْسَادُنَا فِي الْعَمَلِ. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, our hearts are already in paradise, just our bodies are at work in this world. أجسادنا, right? Or قُلُوبُنَا فِي الْجِنَانِ وَأَجْسَادُنَا فِي الْعَمَلِ. That our hearts and our qulub are in the jinan already. But our bodies are at work in this world until we die, and we go and we go. But we have already experienced the pleasure of heaven. We have already seen it. We already understand it. We already have aynul yaqeen of it. Allah, here, Rasulullah is saying that Allah has given you an ornament which is most beloved to Him, which is a zuhud fi dunya. وَجَعَلَكَ لَا تَرْزَعُ مِنْهَا شَيْئًا وَلَا تَزْرَعُ مِنْكَ شَيْءٍ. Meaning you don't bother it, it doesn't bother you. But now he says something, this is the point. Remember, Ya Rahim al-Masakin, right? This is one of the things that Jibreel taught to the Prophet, that the Prophet gifted to Fatima Zahra, that Fatima Zahra brought as a gift to Amir al-Mu'mineen. Despite his hunger, despite his thirst, despite his sickness. وَوَهَبَ لَكَ حُبَّ الْمَسَاكِينَ. And he says, but Allah has put within you the love of the Masakin, Ya Ali ibn Abi Talib. Allah is Rahim al-Masakin, and Ali is the lover of the Masakin. And who brought this to Ali? Fatima Zahra. Because she says, ذَهَبْتُ لِلْدُنْيَا وَجِئْتُ بِالْآخِرَةِ. I've brought the akhirah to you, Ya Ali. Ali would not have this without Fatima. So what is this maqam of Fatima Zahra? This is deep. This is very amiq, I know. Fadail Ahlul Bayt Mu'mineen is bahar, you go deep into it. It's sometimes people can go a little bit confused from these things. But the point is here, as Shaykh Wahid al-Khurasani says, it is not to understand the Ahlul Bayt, but to just be mesmerized by the Ahlul Bayt. We cannot understand their maqam. We can just be mesmerized with their love. We can just be in a state of junoon bi hubb al-Hussein, junoon bi hubb Ali, junoon bi hubb Fatima. In a state of craziness for the love of Fatima. That's all we can be. We cannot say that we know the love of Fatima. We know the sifat of Fatima. We know the sifat of Ali ibn Abi Talib. La. We can just be mesmerized. Let's go even deeper now to understand Fatima Zahra. What was the question Sayyidah Zahra asked Rasulullah? Ma ta'amul malaika inda rabbiha, right? What is the food of the angels with God, with their Lord? What was the answer of Rasulullah? Al-tahmeed. Tahmeed, right? Alhamdulillah, praising Allah. This is the sustenance of the angels with Allah. Let us go to Al-Kafi. An Abi Ja'far. From Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, who says, Ma ubida, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ma ubida Allah bi shay'an. Allah has not been worshipped. Whenever they say something like this, it's very profound. They're excluding everything. Ma ubida Allah bi shay'. Fiqh al-hadith. Right? The Imam is saying Allah has not been worshipped with anything. Now, meaning whatever he's about to say is extremely profound, mu'mineen. Ma'ubidullah bi shay'. Right? Arabiya is very important to understand what Imam is saying here. He's negating everything. Min al-tahmeed of praise. Afdala min tasbih Fatima. Allah has not been praised. Allah has not been worshipped by anything better, by any tahmeed better in wujud, in existence than tasbih Fatima Zahra. If the angels' food is the tahmeed, then what is the best of the angels' food except tasbih Fatima Zahra salamu alayha? That the best of sustenance, the best of dhikr, the best of worship, the best of praise of Allah Azza wa Jal, Khaliq al-Makhluqat, is tasbih Fatima. لو كان شيء أفضل منه لنحله رسول الله Fatima. Imam Bakr says that if there was something better than that, then Rasulullah would have gifted that to her. So Ali has been given hubbul masakin by Allah because Allah is rahimul masakin. The angels have been given the gift of tahmeed, alhamdulillah, of singing, of reciting the praise of Allah, right? And Fatima has been given the best of the best of the best of creation's praise of Allah, and it's named in her name. Meaning the tahmeed of Allah will forever be attached to Fatima Zahra. That every praise that the angel says is attached to Fatima Zahra because this is the best of tahmeed. Imam Sadiq says, this is another riwayah from Al-Kafi alayhi salam. تسبيح فاطمة في كل يوم في دبر كل صلاة. That the tasbih, right, that we recite, right? The tasbih of Fatima after every prayer in the day. أحب إلي من صلاة ألف ركعة في كل يوم. That this tasbih after every namaz is more beloved to me than 1,000 rak'at in the day. Who is Fatima Zahra? And that those people could tell her that she is mistaken about something so basit as fadak. They could tell her that she is wrong. They could tell her that she, na'udhu billah, does not know the ahkam of Islamic law. That man would tell her that ana fi maqam abik, I'm in the position of your father. One does not fit with the other in the same puzzle, mu'mineen. You can't have both Fatimas unless there is some kind of multiple personality situation going on here. Logically, this does not make sense. The best of the tahmeed of Allah, the food of the angels is named after Fatima Zahra. But on the other hand, such basic elements of which no Muslim would know, na'udhu billah, according to others, she is ignorant of it. Like, come on. Like, this is just a total contradiction. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So what happened to the husband for whom the wife brought him akhirat? Long after her passing, on the 15th of Sha'ban, with all that akhirat that his wife brought him as a gift from his father-in-law, right? It was his father-in-law's gift through his daughter. That man, the commander of the faithful, in a single sajda on the 15th of Sha'ban says, أَتُصَلِّتُ النَّارَ عَلَى وُجُوهٍ خَرَّتْ لِعَظِمَتِكَ سَاجِدًا وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك صادقة وبشكرك مادحة وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققة. الله أكبر. that same person in that moment of illness is given the akhirah by his wife as a gift from Rasulullah. And on the 15th of Sha'ban, in remembering the names of Allah and La ilaha illallah, he goes into sajda and he says, would you put in hell the one who says La ilaha illallah? The one whose face has fallen in humility to you. The one whose tongue has said La ilaha illallah truthfully. The one who has done your shukr. The one whose heart admits, believes in you deeply, muhaqqiqa. وعلى دمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة. And would you put on fire or put in hell the consciousness that is completely enveloped with you, completely overcome by you, Ya Allah. وعلى جوارح سعت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعة. Or the body parts that have spent their entire existence in your worship. This is why on that night, or at least one reason and one in understanding of this dua, on that night of the sickness of Ali, when Fatima made the choice for both of them, she made the choice for both of them. She did not ask Ali, would you rather have goats or would you rather have this adhkar and remembrance of Allah? She made the choice of them. And the implications of that choice would live on for the rest of the existence of Amir al-Mu'mineen. That in a sense, this very spiritual existence of Ali ibn Abi Talib owes itself to the hadiyah of his wife Fatima Zahra. Can we conceive of this? Can we really understand who is this woman? I can't. Until now, I still cannot absorb these things. So how could we not gather to remember the days and the nights when she's laying there bleeding, when she's laying there in pain, when she's laying there assaulted by the community, when we look at this sublime character, and then we look at what these people did to her, we cannot understand. Like we're shocked. That's why we say قتل الحسين في يوم السقيفة. Hussein was killed at Saqifa. And some historians have said this to this effect. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. So if this is the status of Ali and Fatima, salamullahi alayhima, then what is the nature of the heart of the one who has given them these gifts, which is none other than Rasulullah? What did he see? What did he experience that he passed on to them? There's a beautiful statement of Rasulullah where he says, لولا إن الشياطين يحومون على قلوب بني آدم لنظروا إلى ملكوت السماء. That had the Satans not hover over the heart of the son of Adam, they would be able to see into the heavens. But as for his heart, Allah says, ما كذب الفؤاد ما رأى. Your heart did not lie about what it saw. And what is it that his heart saw on that day? Right? This is about the night journey. We read in the riwayat that the Prophet went for his night journey. Tusi narrates in his Amali. The Prophet goes for his night journey. And the veil is lifted. Right? Prophet goes for Isra and Ma'raj. Goes. Tusi narrates this in his Amali. It's a very famous riwayah. Riwayah Maqbula. And it's narrated that the hijab is lifted by Allah. Allah removes the hijab. But the hijab between him and what is the question? Because remember, whatever the Prophet brought was a part of his own experience in Malakut. Whatever the Prophet brought to Fatima and Ali was an experience of his own fu'ad, of the innermost part of his heart. That's what Allah tells us in the Quran. And his heart did not lie about what it saw, not what his eyes saw. Right? Ma kadhaba al-fu'adu ma ra'a. What did the heart of Rasulullah see here? What is so profound? He says, I was taken for the night journey. And the veil was lifted. And I looked at him and he looked at me and I began to cry. And he says, I looked down, وَنَظَرْتُ إِلَىٰ عَلِي. And I looked down at him. And it was none other than Ali ibn Abi Talib. That the heart of the Prophet becomes furnished. A zenat of the heart of the Prophet is the sight of Ali ibn Abi Talib. But wait. That Ali relies on the hadiyah of Fatima. That same Ali who becomes a zinat for the qalb of the fu'ad of Rasulullah in the state of shiddat, in the state of illness, in the state of sickness and desperation, of physical illness. The only one that brings him calm is the one who brings him akhirat, and that is none other than Al-Batula Zahra, Fatima Zahra, Sayyidat Nisa al-Alameen. But yet this woman could be mistaken, na'udhu billah, about the very simple matters of hadith and ahkam, such as the likes of these ordinary people would know more than her. I mean, it's mustahil, it's so far-fetched. Either one is completely wrong or one is completely right here. Or you build your religion on two wrongs to make a right. Maybe some brothers want to build it on that anyways, but our madhab is not built on two wrongs making a right here. And we go to this verse, فَأَنزَلَ Marajul Bahrain Yaltaqiyan, right? There's a very famous riwayah, Sayyidah Zahra, again, in a state of hunger. She would go to her father. Look at the relationship between father and mother, and then between father and daughter, and then her and her husband. It's like this beautiful connection of just pure wilaya, pure unadulterated wilaya. She goes to her father again. She's in a state of hunger and ju' and ara. Right? Meaning the days were hard for Ahlul Bayt. There were nights they went without food. Right, the ayah from Surah, from the Quran about the 3 nights and Allah, about, and we don't want any thanking from people, so on and so forth. That's just one situation. There were many situations of hunger that she went through in her life. She comes again to her father in a state of hunger, in a state of difficulty. She says, "Oh, my daughter, your satisfaction, اقنعي يا فاطمة بزوجك." Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. She comes to him in hunger, ju'. He says that your satisfaction is with your husband. For wallahi innahu sayyidun fi dunya wa sayyidun fil akhirah. Because by Allah, he is the leader in this world and the leader in the next world. And then he says, and Allah revealed the verse, and the two seas meet. They come this close. Right? يَلْتَقِيَانِ يَقُولُ أَنَا اللَّهِ. And then he narrates hadith Qudsi from Allah, where Allah says, أَنَا اللَّهِ أَرْسَلْتُ الْبَحْرَيْنِ عَلِيِّ ibn Abi Talib بَحْرُ الْعِلْمِ وَفَاطِمَةَ بَحْرُ النَّبُوَّةِ. Then Allah tells the Prophet that I have sent the two bahars, the two seas. One is Ali. He is the Bahr of Ilm, the sea of all the knowledge. That's why he's Ainullah, Janbullah, right? And the other is Fatima. She is Bahrul Nabuwa. That all the secrets of the prophecy is in the heart of Fatima. And that's why بَيْنَهُمَا بَرْزَخٌ لَا يَبْغِيَانِ, that they come together but one is never over the other. It is a perfect match. The salt water and the sweet water both play their role in maintaining the earth. And Bahrul Ilm and Bahrul Nabuwa both perfectly match each other in order for the existence to exist. For wujud to be wujud, it requires the Bahrain in both the physical and the spiritual. And that is the person of Ali and the person of Fatima. Salawatullahi wa salamu alayhima. Sallu ala Muhammad. ويخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان. Now what could this be? قال الصادق عليه السلام قال علي وفاطمة صلوات الله عليهما بحران عميقان. Imam Sadiq says, so it's not coming, I'm not putting my own interpretation on Quran. Imam Sadiq says, salamullahi alayhi, that Ali and Fatima are the two deep bahrs, the two deep seas, the two bahrs, the two bodies of water that are very deep. لا يبغي أحدهما على آخر, that one will not overcome the other ever. They are perfect together. وقال الحسن والحسين عليهما السلام, and Hassan and Hussein are the lu'lu and the marjan. They are the fruits of the two seas coming together. And together they, with the Prophet, form, of course, Ahlul Kisa. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. This is the woman that came to the community. Again, I will narrate to you what I narrated to you last night. That did you know that for 40 days, according to some traditions, for 40 days she went door to door in the city of Medina. Look at her persistence, her azimat, her sabr, her shuja'at, and her courage. Some riwayat say Imam Hassan took her. That they would ride from house to house, but she would do the speaking. Very interesting. Her sons or her husband would not speak on her behalf. This is a very interesting point here. She would personally go to each Sahabi and go to them and remind them of their haqq. That did you not promise the Prophet that you would support his daughter? Did you not give a pledge of allegiance? As a part of that pledge of allegiance, you promised to protect his family. Where is that now? I'm calling it in. Talk is cheap. Where's action? One of them says to her, what can I do to help you? I'm on my own. فَقَالَتْ لَكَ. So he meets his son, Mu'adh ibn Jabal meets his son later in the day, and his son asks him, what happened between you and Fatima? What transpired between you two? Listen to this is very interesting. Mu'adh tells his son, Mu'adh ibn Jabal tells his son, she came to me and I told her I can't help her. What am I going to do? We're only one. There are so many. I can't rise up. He refused to help her. So his son asked her, what was her response to you? قالت لي والله لا أنازعنك الفصي من رأسي حتى أرد على رسول الله. That surely I shall remain silent until I meet Rasulullah. I will deprive you of my words until I meet Rasulullah. And the son replies basically by saying to the father, oh father, you are cursed to hell. The fact that Fatima came to you and you turned her down after promising her father. This is history, Mu'mineen. After promising her father that you would support her, his family, you would protect them, she reminded him, did you not swear? Did you not do a qasam to this? They did. Just like those who did a qasam and a swearing to her son Hussein. Isn't it? Writing letters to him. How many thousands of letters swearing, promising their allegiance, that they're in a state of complete obedience and ta'ah to Hussein ibn Ali. Yet on that very same day, some of them participated in the killing of Hussein ibn Ali. So who will answer for this? On the day of judgment, the awwaleen and the akhareen will gather. And last night I mentioned to you about the shurda of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, that it will come in the hand of Fatima dripping with the blood of Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salam. But there's one thing I want you to remind you here. When Yaqub lost Yusuf, right? His sons brought him what? A bloody shirt. Bidammin kidhib. With the false blood, and that took Yaqub into what? To go into blindness. Isn't it? Even though he knew in the reality, of course, that his son was not killed. Just the absence of his son rendered him blind. The sight of that false blood that his sons brought to him, right? Of the false bloody shirt, rendered him blind. Now what about the real bloodied shirt of Hussein ibn Ali? Right? The riwayat say it was filled with holes. And not even his outer shirt, only his inner shirt, because the outer shirt was torn. Right? The disdasha and the abba, or the thob, was torn. It was the inner shirt, the undershirt. And even that, the tradition say, was filled with holes. And on that day of judgment, taqulu ya Rabbi, she will come to Allah and she will say, Ya Rabbi, hada qamisu waladi. She will say, oh my Lord, this is the shirt of my son. Qad alimta ma suni'a bi. You know what happened to my son. Then a screaming will be heard on Yawm al-Qiyamah, and nida will be heard. As she is saying, this is the shirt of my son. According to the riwayat, she will come with his blood-soaked shirt. The Prophet tells us that she will be then, Jannah will be brought for her. She will now say that I will not enter Jannah. What now happens, Mu'mineen? I will relate to you. Fatima Zahra comes and she says, I will not enter Jannah. She's with Rasulullah Khuda. Rasulullah Khuda says, enter Jannah. She says, no, until you tell me what happened to my son, Hussein ibn Ali. That the whole of Qiyamah comes to a stop. She is waiting for the news of what happened to Hussein alayhi salam. Let us go to Waqia to Karbala. Ali Asghar is now killed. The Imam is alone. His chest is stained in the blood of his baby. That blood-filled grave is filled. Sakina now is with her father Hussein ibn Ali. He's saying, Hal min nasirin yansuruna, Hal min mughith yughithuna fi wajhillah. Is there anyone that will help us for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Now Sakina comes to Hussein. Hussein comes to Sakina alayhi salam. What is the situation? Remember, Fatima Zahra asked the Prophet, what happened to my son? So we will narrate what happened to her son now. Imagining as if we are on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Sakina meets her father Hussein. She turns to Hussein and says, Istaslamta lil maut? Oh my father, have you surrendered to death? She lifts her veil up and she looks into the eyes of her father. Father looks into the eyes of her daughter and says, Kayfa la astaslimu? وَكَيْفَ لَا يَسْتَسْلِمُ مَنْ لَا نَاصِرَ لَا وَبْلَا مُعِينَ. How can the one who has no helper not submit to death? She begins to cry. Hussein gives farewell to her. And this, my dear brothers and sisters, breaks our hearts. Because the next time she would see her father, the riwayah says, رَمَيْتُ عَلَى جَسَدِ أَبِي. She says, I threw myself onto the body of my father. This is then their next meeting would be a different kind of meeting. It would be a meeting in which she throws her body onto the body of her father. And she says, and I heard a voice come from the stump of his neck, min manharihi, because the head was gone from him, right? From the top of his neck, she heard this voice, right? That whenever you see water, remember me. Whenever you hear of a shaheed, you mourn for me, right? And in Rubab in Sham, what does she say? Wa Husayna, fala nasaytu Husayna. Rubab has the head of her husband in her lap in Kufa. She says that we will not forget our Hussein. Aqsidatu as-sinnatul a'da, that the arrows competed basically to come after him. Ghadaruhu bi Karbala sari'an, that he was left alone in Karbala. So she says, now Allah, do not fill this land with water, do not irrigate this water. Ya Fatima Zahra, what happened to your son? Remember, we're on the day of judgment. Sayyidah Zahra is not entering heaven until the news of Hussein comes to her. We read in Ziyarat Naya, Hatta nakasuka an jawadik, until you fell off of your horse. But mu'mineen, for those who know Arabic, what does nakasuka mean? Nakasuka means the one who's hanging off of his horse. That he's saying, Ya Hussein, your body is hanging off the horse. The horse is moving and you're hanging. فَهَوَيْتَ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ جَرِيحًا. Ya Hussein, and you fall onto the earth. You crash onto the earth. Hawaita doesn't mean just to fall. It means to crash with all of his body weight onto the earth, onto his cheek. As-salamu ala khadd al-tarib. We read in Ziyarat al-Nahiyah, peace be upon the cheeks of Hussein that are covered in turab. Khadd al-tarib. As-salamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Ya Zahra, you have asked Rasulullah, what has happened to you, Hussein? The riwayah says, فَتَنْظُرُ إِلَى Hussein. Zahra looks at Hussein. قَائِمًا لَيْسَ عَلَيْهِ رَأْسٌ. And Hussein has no head on that day. Zahra begins to scream. تَصْرُخُ Zahra. She begins to scream, Rasulullah says, and the malaika begin to scream. Rasulullah begins to scream. And Allah now orders the fire of hell that has been lit for 1,000 years to take the killers of Hussein ibn Ali and one by one to put them into the fire of hell. All of this in an effort to cool the heart of Fatima Zahra, who said on that day, Ya Allah, waqdi baynana wa baynahum. Oh Allah, you shall be the Qadi. You will judge between us and them. I have come now to the court, the mahkama of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Zahra is in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal. She is demanding the justice for her son. It will come on that day, mu'mineen. This will be the site where the hell is filled with the killers of Hussein ibn Ali, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi, Matima Hussein.
Fatima Zahra, Fatima Zahra. Fatima Zahra. सब बोलिए माशाल्लाह साथ साथ فاطمہ زہرا فاطمہ زہرا نام حسین بولیں ساتھ ساتھ ماشاءاللہ. فاطمہ زہرا فاطمہ زہرا سر جھکائے فاطمہ روتی رہی دربار میں. سر جھکائے فاطمہ روتی رہی دربار میں. ظلم کیا کیا سیدہ ظلم کیا کیا سیدہ سہتی رہی دربار میں. سر جھکائے فاطمہ روتی رہی دربار میں. سر پڑھے ماشاءاللہ ساتھ ساتھ. روتی رہی دربار میں سر جھکائے ظلم کیا کیا سیدہ ظلم کیا کیا سیدہ ہے سہتی رہی دربار میں. سر جھکائے فاطمہ روتی رہی دربار میں. سر جھکائے مل کے ماشاءاللہ دربار ہے یہ مل کے پڑھیے. اپنے حق کا سیدہ نے کر دیا جس دم سوا. کون سا حق مانگتی ہو ہنس کے بولا بدخساں. کہے پہ کہا سنتی رہی دربار میں. سر جھکائے فاطمہ روتی رہی دربار میں. سر جھکائے فاطمہ روتی رہی دربار میں. بغض اپنا یوں دکھایا شجرے گمنام نے. کر دیا ٹکڑے سند کو فاطمہ کے سامنے. ہائے بابا کی صدا دیتی رہی دربار میں. سر جھکائے فاطمہ روتی. جزاک اللہ سلامت رہیے ساتھ ساتھ. سر جھکائے فاطمہ وہ سند ٹکڑوں میں بٹ گئے جب ہواؤں میں اڑی. ہو گئی یکدم ضعیفہ مصطفیٰ کی لاڈلی. خود ہی ٹکڑے سیدہ چنتی رہی دربار میں. سر جھکائے فاطمہ روتی رہے دربار میں، سر جھکائے فاطمہ روتی رہے دربار میں، سر جھکائے فاطمہ ظلم کیا کیا سیدہ سہتی رہی دربار میں، سر جھکائے ماں روتی رہی دربار میں، سر جھکائے فاطمہ صورت مجرم کھڑے تھے عرش اعظم کے مکی، چھیننے والے فدق کے ہائے تھے کرسی نشین، کلمہ گویوں سے وغا کرتی رہی دربار میں، سر فاطمہ روتی رہے سر جھکائے فاطمہ، جزاک اللہ پڑھیے ساتھ ساتھ، پار میں سر جھکائے پار میں وہ گواہ جن کی صداقت ہے رقم قرآن میں، آیت جبریل لے کر آئے جن کی شان میں، ان گواہوں پر جفا ہوتی رہی دربار میں، سر جھکائے فاطمہ روتی جزاک اللہ، سر جھکائے فاطمہ میں، سر جھکائے بغض اپنا یوں دکھایا شجرے گمنام نے، کر دیا ٹکڑے سند کو فاطمہ کے سامنے، ہائے بابا کی صدا دیتی رہی دربار میں، فاطمہ سر جھکائے فاطمہ لوٹ کر آئی جو گھر میں فاطمہ خیر النساء، پیٹ کر اپنے سروں کو بیٹیوں نے یہ کہا، کون سی کربو بلا بنتی رہی دربار میں، میں سر جھکائے فاطمہ، پڑھیے ماشاءاللہ، میں سر جھکائے فاطمہ پار میں، سر جھکائے روتی رہی حشر میں توقیر تم بھی دیکھنا یہ مرحلہ، بالیقین ناراض ہوگا ان سے تیرا کبریا، سیدہ جن پر خفا ہوتی رہی دربار میں، سر
السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وابن سيد الوسيم السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء السلام عليك يا معين الضعفاء والفقراء السلام عليك يا شمس الشموس يا أنيس النفوس أيها المسفور والزتوس يا مولا وابن مولا ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام عليك يا مولا يا صاحب العصر والزمان الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن سيدي أجل الله تعالى فرجك وسأل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كل وليك صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى